Hello and welcome to all. I hope you all are doing well in your life. And this is class 3 of particular C++ classes. In the previous video, I have covered something about constants, manipulators, and operator precedence. And today we will be taking the classes further. In this particular lecture, we will be studying some control structure, if-else statements, break continuous statements, and some looping pattern. So first of all, talking about the control structures, we have three type of control structures, in which first we have the sequence structure. Sequence structure. So what is a sequence structure? So sequence structure refers to a sequence where the program executes one after the other. You can take the example. I tell you with a diagram, that is, if you take this flow chart, that is, this is the entry point, and after that I have performed some action in it, action 1. After that I have performed certain action, that is action number 2, and so on, like a sequence, that I have action n, and then I'll exit that particular program. Okay, this is the entry point and this is the exit, and this is my particular sequence. So this is known as the sequence structure. This is a basic theory about the sequence structure. So simply it is a with low number of steps, and after that we have to exit the loop. So I'll rub it first and we'll continue to the next structure. And okay, then the next one we have the selection structure. Selection structure, that is, in the previous flowchart we have the entry point, and after that a certain action one by one we are taking, and after that we have to exit that particular operation in the programs. So in the selection structure we have to choose at every action point whether this or this. If I'm right that you are taking the hint from it that you have to certainly apply some of the if-else conditions here. So I'll draw a flow chart. You will be more clearly differentiate between the previous structure and this selection structure. We have the entry. I'll tell you with the program also, so don't worry about it. This is the entry point, and here I have certain condition. I have certain condition here. Okay, I have the condition. Suppose this condition have the two outcome, that is, first is true and the other one is false. So particularly if my entry point and in that particular action, if I input some of the inputs and it will leads to this particular true value, then it will follow this path. Or if the condition is not satisfied and it is to ask the false condition, then it will be following this particular path. After that, it will go to this path and it will perform action 1 on it, and the second one, if it is false, then it will be the action 2 will be executed. These are some of the technical terms which I am using here, but when I write the program you will be more clear. Okay, after that finally you have to exit this program. So this condition basically which we have this these are if-else condition, and we will be furthermore talking about it in the program. Then little bit theory is there, but after that we will make a program and it will be more clear to you. So I'll rub it and I'll cover the last structure. Okay, delete it. And we have the third, which is okay. We have the third, which is most important, and we will be using that. That is a loop structure. So talking about the loop structure, a loop which we can say operation which is performing repeatedly until the condition become false. This is the particular loop structure. So I'll take a loop structure flowchart. We have the entry. Basically, in this particular loop structure, we will be covering for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Okay. After the entry point, we have this particular thing, condition. If this condition is true, then the block inside this condition will be executed, that is action 1, and after that it will go to the same thing, and this is our loop. But if the condition is true, whenever the condition is true, it will be forming a loop again and again, it will be repeating itself. And after that, if when it is false, when the condition is false, then the loop will terminate. When it falls, it exit the program, or we can say termination happens. So this is the basic theory about the control structures. In this particular control structure, we have the switch case also, which is more important at this time, and it is also we have the if else statement, we have the switch case also. I forgot to tell you. So we will be making the program and you will be more clear about it. So after that, okay, let's go to the code blocks. And okay, we are onto the code blocks. So I'll talk about first of all the if else conditions, and I have a program regarding it. So okay, so this is program related to your age, and we will decide some of the condition when we get to your age. So first of all, I will make the variable age, and then I take an input from the user. Depending upon your age, I'll tell you that whether you are coming to the party or not. So this is our particular thing. So if your age is less than 18 and your age is greater than 0, that is, of course, you cannot come to the party. So I'll give the condition here. If we're using with this particular if, small f, it is a case sensitive thing, so better you write if this like. So after that, I'll take a particular age variable and compare it with 18. It should be less than 18. It should be, okay, just a second. It should be less than 18. And it should be greater than 0. Okay, then what we have to do? We have to just put these curly braces and we have to write our particular action. If this is true, then what is going to happen? What I'll write here is that you are not eligible to come to the party. Okay. So this is the condition. After that, I have the another condition that if your age is 18, Suppose it is equals to 18. You are a kid and you will get a kid pass to the party. Okay. So this is the basic condition here. I'll use else if your age equals to 18. Then what will happen? So what I am doing here is I am dealing with the conditions. Whenever your program have the conditions, you have to use this if else part. So I'll simply write down here that you can come to this party, but pass is required. Okay. After that, suppose if your age is less than 1, okay, it is considered to be a good fact here, and I'll write just else. Okay, else if you are less than 18, then and age is less than greater than 0, you are not eligible. If you are 18, then pass is required, you can come to the party. Or else, if these two conditions are not true, then it comes to this condition, and this condition is your age is greater than 18. So what we're going to perform here is that you can come to the party. Okay, so this is the particular basic thing about the if else condition. If this is true, it will execute this and after that terminate the program. This if this is not true, then it comes to this particular else if, and if this is true, it will execute this and terminate the program. If both of these are not true, then it will actually come to this else part and it will execute this and terminate the program. An interesting fact about it is that if you use two if conditions, suppose if I'm using this condition as if, then what will the system do? It will first check this condition. In the previously we have, if this condition is true, it will terminate the program and this execute after this execution. But if you are using two if, then it will check this. If this is false, it will check this. And also, if this first condition is true, then after the execution it will check this one also, because both the if has equal priorities here. And if we use the else if, then it will get a second priority. I think that you have understood this point. Okay, so after that I'll go to the part that is switch case, and it is also important when we are dealing with certain type of cases. Okay, I'll use switch. This is the basic syntax, and I'll put the variable into the argument, and I'll make the case. Okay, case, I'll write here case 18, and I'll put a colons, and I'll make the action part, that is it will tell you your age. You are 18 years old. Okay, after that I'll make certain cases here. Okay, so I'll make n number of cases. That is, if by chance the age in the argument is 18, then this should be printed. If it is 17, then else, or everything you can print. These type of cases we have. So 22, see out. you are 22 years old. I'm telling you the basic examples of this case. It can be used in the further things also. Okay, so it depends upon the program to program when and where to use these things. So this is a particular case, and suppose I build it. I'll give the value 18. Suppose the user give the value 18. Then also you are 18 years old. Okay, just a second. I have to give the default case also. I have not used the statement that is break statement. I'll tell you more about the break statement, because when it is of 18, then we have to just break the particular switch case, because it will then what it will give the output, it will give the output of case 22 also, because it will switch to another cases. But if our case first is true, then why we are going to second? So we have to break this. So this is a particular mistake in the particular program. Now if I am entering 18, then you can see that you are 18 years old. So this is the switch case. Most of the times we are using the if else condition, not the switch case. So rarely we are using the switch case. So these are the particular if else and switch case. Let us talk about the loops. Coming to the loops, I want to go to the whiteboard first and explain you about these loops on the whiteboard. Okay. Just I select it and erase it. Delete it first. Okay. So now we are talking about the loops in C++. The logic is same in all the languages, only the syntax is different. So first of all, there are basically three types of loops: for loop, while loop, and we have the do while loop. Okay. First of all, we comes to the basic one, that is for loop. Okay, what is a for loop? So for loop helps us to run some specific code repeatedly until the specific condition is met. So it will run from the initial condition up to the condition where it becomes false. I'll write a pseudocode here, that is for, I'll write initial condition, that is initial condition for I equals to 0. I should be less than 4, that is the condition I'm writing. This is the initialization, this is the condition, and the last one is updation, that is I plus plus. I'll write these curly braces and I'll write here what I have to execute. So simply I'll just print the value of I in separate lines. This is the pseudo code for loop. Okay. Okay. And so after that, this is a for loop. You can take a screenshot of that pseudocode, and let us comes to the next one, that is while loop. While loop. Okay, so talking about the while loop, a while loop is a, you can say, a loop which runs until the condition is true. That is, if I am taking the example of while loop here, is that I'll first write while and then I will be writing the condition here, that is t minus minus. Don't worry, I'll code that. You will be getting more out of that particular code and you will be able to understand that. After that, what I'll do is I'll put that particular decrementation here inside the while. What I'll do is I'll write the condition here. Okay, just a second. I'll erase it. Okay. While t should be less than 20 and I'll initialize t equals to 10. See out, what we have to see out is that t in separate lines. And after that, increment the value of t. This is the actually all the loops are same, but their format, the template of that particular loop is different. That is, in this I'm initializing here, I'm giving the condition here, and I am incrementation here. And for the for loop, it is under the single bracket. So this is the while loop pseudocode. Okay, so coming to the next part, the do while loop. Okay, so in the do while loop, yeah, so in the do while loop, what it is not basically used very much in our programming, but we have to know this, that what is a do while loop. So if I'm talking about the looping structure, it is the loop where the code is executed once. It will check the code once. In all of the other loops, if the condition is true, then it will be going to the loop. But in the do while loop, it will purely going to, you can say, one time it will be executed. After that, the condition is checked and then the loop will be executed further. So in this particular, we have the do part, and then we have the same while, which I have explained you earlier. Okay, and it will terminate. Second. So this is a particular do while loop. Actually, do while loop is not used much in the programs, and so okay. So various types of examples are there. So let me go to my code blocks and I'll write a code, and you will be getting more about the particular concept. Okay, now first of all, I'll execute about the for loop. Suppose I have to print okay, suppose I have to print 10 numbers 1 to 10. Then first of all, I initialize the I variable to 1, and I'll after that put a condition here that please I should be less than equals to 10, and I'll give a incrementation, that is increase it by 1 in every iteration. Okay, so this is the particular thing. And after that, I'll see out I. Okay, I'll build it and execute it. You can see that 1 to 10 the numbers are printed. So it depends how you are using the loop. This is the basic condition of using the loop. Okay, it depends upon program to program how you are using the loop, for what kind, for what purpose. So you have to decide that. The simple structure of for loop is this. Okay, talking about the while loop, I initialize the variable. I can, okay, I initialize the variable with 10 while t should be, you can say minus minus, until t should be equals to 0. What we have to do, we have to see out. Okay, I have to put I here. Okay, so this is the basically I am using the this decrementation condition here that will decrement it by 1, and when this inside condition becomes 0, that is I'm decrementing it 10, 9 and up to 0. When this is 0, you know that everything in the binary we have the 0, so it becomes false, so while loop terminates. So what it will be giving the output, you can see. Okay, the back counting from 9 to 0. Okay, if I'll take 11 and I'll put a condition that n should be greater than 0, and please decrement I by 1, then okay, build and run. So you can see the back counting is here. So this is the structure of our while loop. You can see that. Okay, this is the initialization, this is the condition, this is the updation. Okay, now we are heading towards us two statements, that is continue statement and break statement. Break statement we have covered, that is by the example of switch case we have covered the break, but now I'll tell you the real part of break statement, why it is used and what it actually do in the program. So the particularly if suppose I'm writing a code here. Okay, I'll write the code, and after that you will be, okay, I'll write a for loop here, and I equals to 0, I should less than 40, I plus plus, and I'll see out I, which I'm doing previously. But suppose I give the condition here that please, if whenever the I equals to 5, suppose, please break. I do not want the loop to be executed 40 times. I have to just with the value of 5, whenever the 5 comes in this particular loop, whenever the I become 5, it will break the loop. Okay, so I'll execute it and you will be getting the output 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, when it is becoming 5, then it will break the statement, so 5 will be printed here. If I'm using this statement above this particular cout, then the 5 should not be printed. So the break statement terminates the program actually. Whenever it comes, it will break the for loop, terminate the for loop. Okay, so let us go to the whiteboard. Let us go to the whiteboard here. Just a second. Okay, we are on the whiteboard. So basically, we are talking about the break statement. So what it will do whenever the loop is running repeatedly, it will put a condition here inside the loop and it will terminate the loop. The loop. The second thing which we have is that continue statement. What is this? So continue statement is similar to the break statement, but the main difference between the break statement entirely terminates the loop. It actually comes out of the loop. But the continue statement only terminates the current iteration. That is, suppose I want to skip anything in the loop. Suppose I have the loop which will print 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is my loop. This is suppose my for loop, which I'll give the I 1 and I'll give the condition I should be less than 7 and I plus plus. After that, I'll put a curly braces here and I'll see out I. Handle. So this is the basic function of this to print these numbers. But I want to skip 3. I do not want 3 to come here in this particular looping system. So I have to give a condition here. Okay, I have to give a condition here. Just a second. I'll rub this. Okay, I'll give a condition here. If I equals to 3, what we have to do? We have to continue. I simply write continue here and then see out I handle. Okay. So this will, whenever I reaches to the value 3, it will continue. It will skip this particular iteration. It will not perform this operation, but it will skip this operation, not wholly terminate that. This is the particular action of break statement. Break statement will terminate the loop, but continue statement skip the current iteration, or you can say terminate the current iteration, not all the iterations. Okay, we'll go to the code blocks and I'll write a code here. Okay, I'll write a code here. Less than 7 should be started with 1, and if I equals to you can say 3, which we have taken the example. So what we have to do is we have to continue this and see out. I have to see out I. Okay, I'll run that. You can see that 1, 2, 3 is not there. So this is the basic role of the continuous statement. So this is it. Now, okay, let's go to the whiteboard. Okay. That's all for today's lecture. Uh, Thank you so much for joining us and seeing this video. I hope you are getting some up, good output out of it, and be a good learner with this video. And after that, you have to practice some codes or some programs related to it, because if you are practicing, it will give you the confidence, and if you are having the confidence to write the code, then you will be a great programmer after a certain time. So thank you so much and take care. Bye bye.